Last day of OTAs. Let's do a little recap. What is up, Finn fans? Last day of the OTAs. Got nothing. We got a lot of nothing today. Very quiet. I bet you all the vets weren't there. I know I saw pictures of Mike Gesicki already in France, I think, with his now wife. We don't know who wore the orange jersey today. A whole lot of nothing. So I thought to myself, this is the last day of OTAs. Like I said, and probably most of the vets aren't there. This last week of OTAs wasn't mandatory for the vets to be here. So I thought to myself, let's kind of review. And then I'm going to talk about a video that I might do later tonight or tomorrow, depending on all that stuff. Real quick, though, I know a lot of people want to know when the heck training camp starts. Now, when I looked it up, I think the Packers are starting on the 28th of July. They already kind of got their date. I know first-time head coaches get a little bit more time, like they start earlier than most, especially if you're doing the Hall of Fame game. But when I looked it up, it's roughly around 2 weeks before your first preseason game. And the Dolphins' first preseason game, if my brain is working correctly, is on the 13th of August. 2 weeks ahead of that is around the 30th of July. So roughly that week of July, the 24th of July, that week is when training camp will start for the Miami Dolphins. So there is that. So let's kind of do a recap and kind of ask ourselves, what did we learn from OTAs? Which is a whole lot of nothing, right? We got some tidbits here and there from OTAs this year. Defense is still doing very well, still has the upper hand, obviously, as they should, being that they are going on a defensive playbook that has been implemented for 3 years now, and this is the second year in a row, and the defense is pretty much all back with the inclusion of Ingram and with the inclusion of Porter, Gustin, and all that stuff. So the defense obviously dominant. Offense had their good days. We saw the plays from Teddy Bridgewater. We heard the plays from Skylar Thompson. We saw the plays from Tua Tagovailoa. We saw it from Hill, Waddle. You know, we saw the things that we saw. The thing that we have to really think about when it comes to evaluating where we're at in OTAs is you can't. And if anyone tells you you can, they're lying. Plain and simple. We don't know who played. I know for a fact that Byron Jones wasn't there. Teron Armstead didn't practice. Morse didn't practice. There was a ton of starters that didn't play. There was a ton of starters for certain days, like Tuesday that was open to the media this past Tuesday. Tyreek Hill wasn't there. Mike Gesicki wasn't there. OTAs is more about the young guys, the rookies, getting the installment of the offense. And it's an organized team activity. So for anybody to sit here and say we suck or all that stuff, again, I don't have any inside sources. I can't come here and tell you that I'm hearing different things than what are being reported. I can just tell you what I know, what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, and the reporters that I do talk to. And yeah, the offense is behind, but a lot of the guys I'm talking to, even Omar Kelly. I know, again, some of you guys don't like Omar Kelly. But even Omar Kelly has said that this is expected, especially for a new offense to be installed and all that stuff. There is expected for hiccups to happen with the offense. I don't want to, and there is a bias, especially when it comes to Tua, especially when it comes to OTAs, but I have been consistent throughout all of the OTAs, talking about the good and the bad. When they show highlights of Tua throwing a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill multiple times, I'm like, fantastic to see means nothing until they put the pads on. When I hear bad things like Tua throws a pick six, I'm like, it is what it is. It's OTAs, means nothing till they put the pads on. When I'm hearing the offensive line is getting blown back and then, would-be sacks on a bad offensive day, one after the other, I, again, consistent saying, that sucks, but it doesn't mean nothing until they put the pads on. You hear nothing about the run game. why don't you hear anything about the run game? That's because they don't really work on the run game during OTAs. Because you can't really work on the run game during OTAs because you don't have your pads on. They probably work on formations. They probably work on like which lanes to hit. They do run the ball. I'm not saying they don't. But there's not much to work on during OTAs because you need the pads on. So I could honestly sit here and tell you that I have going into training camp, and I'm going to make these videos. Like, obviously, I have a position camp battle and what I want to see going into training camp and all that stuff. But going into training camp, I have a clean slate in my mind, as should you. I'm not telling you to do it, but you should. Clean slate in your mind, go into training camp and see what they can do. Because to go into training camp and be like, oh, the offense struggled in OTAs and the defense was owning them in OTAs. Teron Armstead barely played. He didn't. Teron Armstead didn't play. So you can't really take much from the OTAs. But this was the last day of the OTAs, and now they get a month vacation. It is more than a month. It is the 10th. Like I said, they're coming back probably the 24th of July that week. So they get about a month and a week off to just relax. And that month and a week, I got so much content for you. One of that content being Tyreek Hill's first episode of his podcast is dropping probably as I'm releasing this, 7 o'clock. So it's 6:55 as I'm getting done recording this, and I have to edit it, shoot it, upload it, and all that stuff. So his first episode of his podcast will be out, I think, either tonight or tomorrow, probably late night tonight, probably around like 11, maybe midnight. I'm going to release a reaction to some of the things he has said in this podcast. So there's that, like I said, I have a ton planned for you guys. I'll give you a little tidbits. I have top 10 videos. You guys have been hitting me up with doing possible top 10 videos. Top 10 game-defining drives. Top 10 best plays. Top 10 fins of all time, but from my perspective, top 10 quarterbacks since Dan Marino. These are a few top 10s. Top 10 plays, my favorite plays of 2021. These are all top 10s that you guys have suggested to me. I might make these videos. My expectation for the team, for the defense, the offense, for Tua, for everything. Going to be doing the camp battle positions, and I'm going to eventually, probably before they start making cuts, I'm going to try to predict the depth chart. I have so much content for you guys. So it's going to get really dead for the next month and 2 weeks. So I got a lot for you. But like I said, try to take what you've heard from OTAs, because there's multiple things being thrown at you, and just push it aside for now. Because now is where it matters. When training camp starts is where it matters. When they have the pads on, they're playing other opponents during the preseason. They're doing the joint practice with the Bucs. They're doing the joint practice with the Eagles. This is when it matters. This right now is when it matters. And if there's struggles there, if they're not executing properly, if all these things start to falter there, that's when you worry. Because we heard last year during training camp, oh, this offensive line's getting pushed back by these, by the defense of the Bears and by the defense of all these other teams that we've had joint practices with. It don't look good, and it ended up not being good. This is where you find out what your team is going to be now. So, like I said, take the OTA stuff, throw it away, start clean for training camp. But I'll probably see you later tonight. Like I said, I'm going to react to some of the things Tyreek Hill said in his first episode. And then I'll see you guys Monday. Like I said, I have so much planned for you guys. We're going to be breaking down corners, quarterback ranking, and then I'm going to start doing my camp battle positions. We start with quarterbacks. So much planned for you guys. But on that, like usual, stay classy. And fins up.